Hello, welcome back to Yoga with Paige. Thank you for joining me in this little reset yoga practice. We begin today sitting in easy seat, bringing awareness to our breath, consciously preparing for the week ahead. Use this next exhale to let go of what you no longer need. And I invite you to set an intention, either for this practice or for the new week. Whatever comes to mind first. Breathing nice and even. And taking the left hand to the right ear, finding a very gentle neck stretch. Rooting down through the sit bones. Grounding close to the earth. Exhale to release and switch sides. Finding space between the shoulder and the ear. Still sitting up nice and tall. Releasing the ear on your next breath and returning back to a neutral spine. Finding your position, on your next inhale, squeeze the shoulders up to the ears and then exhale to depress them down. Squeezing up, big breath in and let it out, shoulders come down. Moving with the breath, waking up the shoulders. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, and exhale, twist to the right. Inhale to reach, and exhale, twist to the other side. Taking 3 of these in total on each side. Finding your own presence as you move to the rhythm of your body. And meeting back in a nice neutral spine, taking the hands to the lower back, interlace the fingers, and spread the chest wide. Using the hands to draw them down as the chest lifts up, opening through the heart center. Taking big, full breaths. Finding about another 2 breaths here before releasing the hands and extending the left leg long in front of you. Right foot comes to the inner thigh. Square the hips before folding over. Staying here for a few breaths, letting yourself melt down as you open up. Reaching for the foot. Gently walk the hands back up. Really ground down through the bent right leg as you extend the left up, pulling it into the chest. Keeping a bend in the knee if you need to. One last breath, and exhale, release, extending the left leg to the side, coming up onto the right knee, and reaching the left arm over, a modified side plank. finding length in the side body. And then exhale, tuck that right leg underneath, coming back onto the sit bones and reaching over to the left side. And as you release and come back to center, we prepare for a nice twist. Crossing the left leg over the right, planting the foot, inhale, reach the head up, and exhale, twist gently. One breath. And lovingly release your twist, preparing for the other side. Unraveling everything, extending both legs to then bring the left foot into the right inner thigh. Big breath in before gently folding over. Keeping length in the spine as you reach down towards your foot. Letting go of this past week, opening up for new possibilities, new adventures and explorations ahead. Coming back up and extending the right leg, pulling it into the chest, maybe taking this time to roll out the ankle, remembering that this is your practice and you can always add in whatever movements that feel good to you. Planting the foot, extending it to the side, and coming gently into your side plank. Right arm reaches overhead. Big full body breath. Maybe finding a little back bend or heart opener here before coming down onto the sit bones. And reaching over for the right foot, but attaching no judgment if we're not there. Knowing that you are exactly where you're supposed to be in this moment, in this journey. Gently come back up and cross that leg over for your nice seated twist. Hugging the right knee into the chest. Exhale, big twist. And carefully beginning to unravel yourself on the next breath. Coming onto the knees, tabletop pose. Inhale, find either cat-cow or rib rolls. Maybe we add in some fun, intuitive movement here. Get the creative juices flowing. The only thing that matters is that you move in tune with your breath and you listen to your body, effectively tuning out the mind, what you should be doing, bringing your awareness to the physical body. Finding a nice neutral spine before kicking the right leg up on an inhale and crunching on the exhale. Taking 3 of these, working through the spine as you find your balance. And we have an option to find a nice balancing tiger pose by reaching the left arm back, grabbing the ankle. Use your breath. And exhale to release back down. The left leg kicks up on an inhale, and exhale, we round through the back. And moving at your own pace, and maybe taking our optional big tiger pose. Releasing back down, all fours, and sending the hips back to a wide child pose. Knees come to the edges of the mat as you reach the fingertips out in front. Finding space in the lower back as you melt the heart downward. A few breaths of ease, of surrender. Connect back to yourself in this moment. And when you're ready, lift up, tuck the toes, and come into a downward facing dog. Bending both knees, really working through the backs of the legs. Allowing yourself to find your static downward facing dog. Gently and in your own time. Then carefully come up onto the hands to walk them back to the back of the mat as we fold and dangle over the whole body. Belly meets thighs and the arms wrap behind. Give yourself a nice loving hug. Maybe revisit your intention as the blood rushes to the head. One last breath. And then carefully release the arms. Roll up to a standing mountain pose. Arms reach up, inhale. Exhale, take a slight bend to the right side. Back up through center, reset, and over to the left. Back through center, release the hands, arms come into a big wide V on the inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, this big upward salute. One more time, big inhale. And exhale, hands to heart center. Then consciously tuck the chin and slowly roll down until your fingertips meet the mat. Then walk out into a downward facing dog. Walk up to the front of the mat and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, finding length in the spine before folding over. Inhale, standing up, mountain pose, hands to heart center. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, flat back, dive down. Halfway lift. And plant the hands, step it back, high plank pose, taking a chaturanga, an optional vinyasa, or just meeting in downward facing dog. Being intentional with your movements today. Left leg sweeps up, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, bring it in, and plant it for a low lunge. Arms sweep overhead. Exhale, half splits. Inhale, low lunge, sinking into the hips. And exhale, send them back. Seeing if you can move through this flow without using your hands to stabilize. Finding strength and meeting back in our low lunge. Send the arms forward, lift the back knee, coming into a high lunge before pivoting on the back foot into a nice side lunge squat. Hands to heart center. Find a few breaths. Flexing the foot, lifting the chest nice and high. And then carefully release down onto the sit bones. Extend the left leg for seated straddle. Keeping the feet flexed, you can have a bend in the knees if you need to. As you gently come forward, walking the hands out with every breath. No need to go too far. Just finding connection to the mat. Releasing any stagnant energy, any negative thoughts. Coming back up, extending the arms out, shoulder height. Exhale, right arm comes to the left toes, back up, and then switch sides. Connecting to the core, finding these twists. Keeping the sit bones rooted down. One more each side. Evening yourself out. Before planting the hands behind the bum and finding seated windshield wipers. Opening up through the hips. Enjoying this bodily movement. Breathing nice and even. And when your knees find the top of the mat, we can fold over and gently come back into our downward facing dog. Sending the right leg up high and into our low lunge, repeating on the other side. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, send the hips back. Keeping the back foot tucked to help you balance and stabilize in this little mini flow. Meeting back in our low lunge to send the chest forward, lift the back knee, and pivot into our Skandasana side lunge. Make sure you're comfortable here. Big full body breaths. Finding your last few breaths here. Before this time, making your way into pigeon pose. Coming over into the right knee and gently lying it down. Extending the left leg behind. Making sure to situate yourself. We're here for a little bit. Finding your version today. Actively squeezing the glutes, sending the legs down. Opening up and releasing. You are welcome to stay here while we move in these next two pigeon pose variations. Or we can find a little play and have fun with some twists. Reaching up, keeping the left fingertips by the right knee, reach the right arm behind you. Maybe we reach for the back extended leg, or maybe not. Exhale, come back through center. Plant both of the hands and scoop the right arm underneath the left as you come into a little thread the needle variation. You can lie the head down on the mat as you gently fold in on yourself. Breathing easy wherever you are. Exhale to gently unravel yourself as you press back up, carefully switching sides, coming into pigeon with the left knee bent. Making sure to square the hips first, before you settle in and fold over to whatever position feels comfortable and natural to you. And again, staying here, or gently pressing the chest back up to take the right fingertips to the left knee and find your twist. Maybe getting a new perspective as you find a new gaze, a new shift point in this pigeon pose, gazing to the side or behind you. Exhale back to center and gently thread the left arm underneath as you fold over. Feeling so connected as you give Mother Earth a big hug. Take this next breath to consciously release any mental strain you still might be carrying today. Knowing that everything will unfold in its own time. And gently, whenever you're ready, press back up and we meet in a nice easy seat. Hands come behind the head as the elbows reach out to the sides, gently tilting to one side and the other. Giving this another chance to move with our breath and reconnect as we prepare to come to the end of our practice. Making sure to even yourself out before releasing the head, finding big cactus arms. Take one big, huge breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Then drawing the arms in front of the chest, finding eagle arms, or grabbing onto opposite shoulder. Just opening up through the upper back. Unraveling, coming back in one breath, big cactus, and then raveling the other way. Taking what you need here and leaving what you don't. And when you're ready to release, find a nice spot that feels good to you to end our practice with some attention to our breath. A position where you can connect, just paying attention to the breath, allowing thoughts to come and go, effectively clearing out the mind of any excess clutter to begin this new week with an open mind, an open heart, ready for whatever comes your way. Breathing in love and light, and breathing out love and light. Perhaps revisiting your intention if you made one. And I invite you to mentally or out loud affirm to yourself, I am ready. I am strong and capable. And we can take one final breath together to seal in this beautiful practice. As I thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. Have a great week ahead, my friend.